So in the previous video I was telling about the functions of UNESCO, where we are seeing about the functions of education. So now we'll see the other functions of this UNESCO. It was the scientific function. So in case of the scientific function, so mainly this UNESCO usually they conduct science like seminars, conferences of the scientists from different countries, and the whatever the information that they give in this conference, okay, whatever the information that they gave in the conference, so this will be published in the press and journals. Okay, it is usually published in the press and journals. So that is usually what happens. So they conduct seminars and conferences. Okay, they usually conduct seminars and conferences. Okay, they usually conduct seminars and conferences. So this is usually conducted from seminars and conferences are usually conducted by they usually organize of scientists from various different countries, and whatever the information that they give, okay, whatever the information that they give, this will be published in the press and journals. So that is usually there, and then they will be allowed to do certain research work in the geology, mathematics and other areas, so that they can so that they can help out, or this will be done so that they can help out the other developing countries. Okay, so that they can help out the other developing countries. So that is usually there. And next is usually what they do is they'll correct the imbalances in the scientific technology. Okay, so the next function that they do is that they'll imbalance the scientific technology. Okay, they'll correct the imbalances that is present in the scientific technology. Okay, these are usually the functions of scientific in the area of UNESCO. So what are the functions? Like we saw, it is that they'll conduct seminar and conferences of the scientists from different countries. This will be published, the information is published in the press and journal. Next they'll be conducting research, and then they'll be correcting the imbalances that is usually seen in case of scientific technology. So next is communication. So when we talk about this communication, so what are the things that they do is that they'll improvise regional networks. Okay, so they improvise regional networks so that the information are passed properly. So that the information are passed properly. They'll improvise the regional network so that the information is passed properly. So that is usually there. Then they will be improvising the quantity of press. Okay, they'll improvise the quantity of press, film and videos. Okay, they'll improvise the quantity of press, film and video. So that is usually done. Next they usually assist developing countries to develop communication. Okay, next they will be assisting developing countries to develop communication. So that is usually done. So next is usually also they will give freedom for the press and they usually give freedom for the press and independence, like press and media. Okay, they'll give full freedom for the press and media. Okay, these are usually the functions of in the area of UNESCO in the area of communication. So what are the things that they do? They improve the regional network so that the information are passed properly. Next they usually do is that they'll improve the quantity of press, film and videos. Then they'll assist the developing countries to develop communication. Then they usually give full freedom to the media and press. So that is usually about this functions of UNESCO in the area of communication. So next is preservation of cultural heritage. So what are the things that they do in order to what are the things that UNESCO will do in order to preserve this preserve this cultural heritage is that they usually provide technical advice. Okay, they usually provide technical advice so that they can preserve the monuments. Okay, so that they can preserve the monuments. Okay, so that is usually there. Then they usually store or protect the books and work of art and manuscript. Okay, they usually preserve the books and work of art and manuscript. So that is usually done. Then they usually preserve this literature. Okay, then usually they preserve this literature. So that is usually about this things that they do in order to preserve the cultural heritage. So what are the things that they do? So normally they provide technical advice. Okay, normally they provide technical advice for improving the monuments, of preserving the monuments. Then they'll preserve this work of art and manuscript as well as books, and also they'll preserve this literature. So these are usually the functions of UNESCO. Okay, this is usually about this UNESCO. So what is this UNESCO? UNESCO was established in the year, so that is usually it was usually held like conference was held. Okay, there was usually organized a conference in the London. Okay, they usually organized a conference in the London, that is in the year 1945, where they concentrated on improving education, scientific as well as cultural organization. Okay, this is usually about this UNESCO. So this is about this UNESCO. So next is So next agency that we will be studying, it is Colombo Plan. Okay, so next agency that we will be studying, it is about this Colombo Plan. So what is this Colombo Plan? So Colombo Plan was established on 1st July 1951. Okay, it was established in the year 1st July 1951 by Australia, India, Pakistan, Canada, and New Zealand and Sri Lanka. So that is usually what happened. So this was established in the year 1951 on July 1st by Australia, Canada, New Zealand, India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, and United Kingdom. So this was usually has 26 member countries. Okay, this Colombo Plan has 26 member countries, including non-Commonwealth countries. Okay, including non-Commonwealth countries, as well as countries belonging to regional groupings. Okay, as well as countries belonging to regional groupings. So next is about this Colombo Plan. So Colombo Plan was established on July 1st 1951. So this is established by Australia, Canada, New Zealand, India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, and United Kingdom. So they usually have about 26 member countries. Okay, they usually have about 26 member countries. So that is usually about this. So what are the objectives of this Colombo Plan? Okay, what are the objectives of this Colombo Plan? So the objectives of this Colombo Plan, it is mainly to support or to improve economic and social development. Okay, to support or to improve economic and social development of Asian countries as well as Pacific region. Okay, as well Asian countries as well as Pacific region. So what are the objectives of this? It is mainly to promote interest in the development of in the area of economic and social. So to promote development in the area of economic and social, that is in the Asian countries and Pacific regions. Okay, in Asian countries as well as in Pacific regions. So that is usually there. And next is to promote technical cooperation to these countries. It also to improve or to provide technical support to these countries, that is Asian countries as well as, and not only Asian countries but all the member countries. So that is usually there. So that is usually about this objectives of this Colombo Plan. So what are the objectives of this Colombo Plan? To improve social as well as economic development, and then to provide technical assistance. Okay, to provide technical assistance. There are major 4 programs which is organized by this Colombo Plan. So what are the major programs? It is that mainly it is program for public administration and environment. Okay, mainly for the program of public administration and environment. Next, program for private sector development. They were organizing programs for improving private sectors. Okay, to improving private sectors. Then drug advisory program. Okay, drug advisory program where they will be taking certain measures, steps to improvise the drug. Okay, to improvise the drug so that it can be more effective to control the diseases. So that is usually there. And next is long-term scholarship program. Okay, long-term scholarship program so that the people get scholarships and they can improvise their education. Okay, so that they can improvise their education. This is usually the 4 programs that has been organized by Colombo Plan. So what are the 4 programs that is organized by Colombo Plan? Program for public administration and environment, where they take certain measures to improve the environment. Then program for private sector development, drug advisory programs, and then long-term scholarship program. So this is about this Colombo Plan. So Colombo Plan was established in the year 1st July 1961 by 1951, that is by Australia, Canada, New Zealand, India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, and United Kingdom. So this was established by, it has mainly 26 member countries with regional countries as well as non-Commonwealth countries. So this objective is mainly to improvise economic and social development. Next, it is mainly to provide technical assistance for all the member countries of this Colombo Plan. So this has mainly 4 programs: drug advisory program, long-term scholarship program, program for private sector development, and then program for public administration and environment. So this is about this Colombo Plan. So that is usually in this video we had seen about UNESCO as well as Colombo Plan. So remaining we'll see in the other videos.